Hi, it's Melanie Goodhue from Pulse Wealth Management, and today I have a special guest with me, Natalie Cox. Thanks for joining me, Natalie.
Thanks, Mel. Happy to be here.
My pleasure. So, Natalie Cox is a co-owner of CPI Interiors. She's an interior decorator. Natalie has been in the business for a decade, which is amazing. That's very rare, a very big accomplishment, especially for being a female in business. So, congrats, by the way, on that
Thank you.
huge accomplishment. Very excited to have you here today. I get questions about renovations all the time from my financial planning clients. It's actually hard for me to think of any financial planning client that I have that we don't have a renovation budget set up, because I think even if you don't have something that's, you need to work on in the next 1 to 2 years, we update our home, every decade or so, even if it's just
Exactly.
flooring and windows and, or the AC unit goes.
Maintenance. Yeah.
Right, but maintenance, but also, like, 15 years in, your kitchen's dated,
Yeah.
your bathroom's dated. And so those things we need to always be thinking ahead. So we've got some questions here that I'd love to ask you that, I'm posed quite often, and I think that will be helpful for our viewers as well. So, are you ready for some questions?
Great idea. Ask away.
Okay, great. So the biggest question that I get when I'm talking to a client is, oh, we might DIY it, but we might hire someone. And I say, you know what, you really want to talk to an interior designer consultant to learn about the difference of hiring a full service designer versus the DIY, because then you're going to be able to make that decision. So for our viewers, would you mind just covering off the difference between the two?
Absolutely. So DIY would be you find your own inspiration online at your friends' houses and magazines, and then you go to stores and you try to piece it all together yourself. You might get a little overwhelmed with the amount of choice that's out there, and also knowing what sizes of pieces will fit into your space, how it'll all work together, and how it'll accomplish the goal of creating like a designer look or the look that you're wanting to achieve. So by hiring a full service designer like myself, I would do all of that for you. So I meet with you in your home. We go through all of the questions that you might be asking yourself, and I ask those to you to get to the crux of how you want to use the space. And then I pull all that together and make sure that the plan is really cohesive. So you get to see everything all at once.
Yeah, I can speak to that actually. Something I didn't mention earlier is that I've worked with Natalie personally. So, home and office, although I'm supposed to say office quietly because she really does residential.
That's right.
But there are benefits to having an interior decorator friend. But yeah, Natalie specializes in residential. And so we worked together when it came to our new home purchase. We left our rental fully furnished, and so we had to furnish an entire house. And oh my goodness, was that ever overwhelming at the thought of thinking doing that on my own. And it
Mhm.
was incredibly invaluable. And every time I would ask you for, hey, Natalie, this looks really cool. What do you say, oh my
Yeah.
goodness, no, not at all. It's the wrong dimension, it's the wrong color. And that is so, so valuable. So,
It's nice having a designer friend. Yeah.
right?
To be
Yeah.
able
But
to,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
oh, just to be able to bounce ideas off of, right? So you're not alone in it because it's so easy to get overwhelmed.
Exactly. What I really appreciated about what you do, though, is that white glove service, right? You take away that whole having to shop for it. You do everything,
Yeah.
and that's incredibly invaluable. What a time saver, money saver.
That's exactly why we do it. It's perfect for the busy professional. You just do not have time. And even if you do have time, if you're newly retired or you have a lot of time on your hands and you enjoy it, you may not have the skills to put it together the way that you envision it. And that could be really frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what is the difference between buying items from a retail store or buying through a designer?
Yeah. So how we work is we have our own suppliers that we've vetted out. So we've made sure the quality is up to the standards that we want to present to our clients. We want pieces that are going to last. It's heartbreaking when if you invest in the time and energy into designing your space and then it only looks good for a couple of years. You really want it to look good for a long period of time. That's also great for the environment. So it makes me feel really good. So we've curated a list of suppliers that we're comfy with, and then we only source from those suppliers for our clients. Now, if you were to go retail, you may find something on sale on the floor, you may, or at the end of the rack at Home Depot, that kind of thing. And you could save some money that way. But whether or not it goes with everything else in the space, is kind of tricky. So there's always a fine line with buying things yourself retail or seeing the big picture and being able to make sure that room has longevity.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's all well and great to say, oh my goodness, this thing is 50% off. But if you buy it, it's final sale, you get it in this space and it's the wrong
Yeah,
color or the wrong
it's just
size.
wasted. Yeah,
You just wasted that money and then you gotta go buy something else. And are you really saving money? So that's definitely a
exactly.
huge benefit to working with a full service designer. They know the dimensions, they know the right color scheme, they source
Yeah.
that out for you, they show you ahead of time. So there's no nasty
There's no
surprise.
what ifs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then even if there are warranty issues after the fact and we deliver, we're taking care of those warranty issues for you. You're not having to go back to the store or having to fight with a manufacturer or whatever it may be. We're doing that for you. And the manufacturers that we work with are wonderful to deal with. Like if there are warranty issues, they stand behind their products as well.
Absolutely. Full glove service, white glove service, that is everything.
It's cool.
Well, Natalie, thank you so much for joining us. We are going to do another video, so stay tuned to answer another burning question, which is how much does it cost? So
Yeah.
tune in for that. If you're have an upcoming renovation project or you're wanting to get an idea of what that would cost or what that would take and you're weighing your options, feel free to reach out to Natalie. I'm going to throw her information in the post below and you can reach out to her directly. Thanks
Thanks,
so much,
Val.
Natalie, for joining me, and we'll see you soon.
Take care.